Alright, so I am actually back with another new video, and as I told you that I am actually going to make videos every single day. Yes, I actually did yesterday, and sadly I actually couldn't save that video. For that reason I actually recorded the videos, but whenever I am actually just saving this video, it automatically deleted, and it really drove me to fly off the handle. So for that reason, I didn't make any kind of videos yesterday. So as a part of my speaking journey, practicing journey, so I'm actually going to do the same thing as well. And today I am actually going to cover one of the questions, that is, describe a TV show that you enjoy. You should say what type of show it is and how often it is on, and how popular it is with other people in your country, and explain why you like it. Alright, the first thing I need to actually say that if I would like to actually say one of the favorite TV shows that I really admire. So although I'm not actually a big fan of that kind of watching TV shows, however, there are very handful amount of TV shows that I really admire. So among them, I would have to actually say one of the TV shows that I really like, that is Man versus Wild, and which is actually led by Bear Grylls, and everyone actually knows him, and in fact he is actually familiar for that. And I reckon that if anyone would like to actually say about the surviving skills or surviving episode, there is no question rises that people will actually disagree that they actually watched the TV shows of the Bear Grylls. That means he is widely actually popular, not only in his own country and all over the world. He actually got his popularity. So yes, the reason of actually choosing this very episode is because from there I actually get to know many things related to the jungle. If I am actually in an awful circumstances where I am not actually have I'm not being able to actually survive, or I don't have so much things with me. So from that very particular situation or scenario, how can I actually survive with the jungle and everything, actually I can actually know from him. And literally it's mind blowing, and there are loads of suspense in every minute. And I can still remember, because of watching this very episode, I already quarreled with my cousin as well, because he was actually thinking of watching cartoons. But when I actually saw that it is actually time for my TV show, my favorite TV show, and I just whenever I actually just turn on the TV, and he actually changed the channel, and it actually made me so much agitated, and for that reason I actually called him. And at last, and I own on that very particular context, and I actually enjoyed, because not only I, most of the people actually love that, and in fact my family members also love to actually watch his episode for that reason. And we actually finally uh, have been able to actually manage him somehow to actually watch that. And yes, that was an incident of that very moment. And and this very TV show is actually popular in my, what should I actually say, in my local village as well, because because they also actually enjoy the episode, how he actually manage all of those things, and they can actually relate if they are actually sent in that kind of an environment scenario. How will they actually do something? That means, most importantly, the intelligent, the ideas, the long-term vision that Bear Grylls has, which is really praiseworthy, because it actually teaches us, don't panic, okay? Whatever situation or scenario you are in, do not actually panic, okay? Just you need to actually go with the nature, and that's what he always try to actually say. And yes, I most of the time actually watch that very TV shows, and as I already told you, that I am actually a big fan of that, much watching any kind of TV shows. However, when it comes to my favorite Bear Grylls episode, oh my, I can't actually that miss that very episode or season. And yeah, and in fact, I'm actually thinking of watching some of the episode in the probably next month. Thank you. Alright, now let's move on our next topic, which is related to describe a performance you enjoyed watching. You should say what the performance was, and when and where you watched the performance, okay? Or was the performing who performed, okay? And explain why you enjoyed the performance, okay? Okay, so if I would like to actually say the performance that I really enjoyed, I would have to actually say, once I actually got a chance to go to the the fair, one of the fairs, and each and every years we actually see in our country, especially in winter season, there are lots of fairs going on. So I luckily got chance to go that kind of fair with my cousins. So going there, what I actually experienced is I was just wandering and to see the stalls and everything, and all of a sudden we actually encountered a shop where they are actually showing the magic. All right, so it's literally captivating, and I actually couldn't wait to actually see that, and I just stuck over there and I actually enjoyed the performance, how they are actually doing all of the things. That's literally mind blowing. I will not be able to I will not be able to actually explain that very scenario, what actually happened with me and my cousin as well. And it actually occurred last year. In this very year, we actually got a chance to actually look over, but due to not having the proper time, and we actually couldn't watch that. But yes, I love to actually watch that kind of magic, and I really enjoyed. And the performers actually put on the clothes which is like quirky, unusual clothes, and they're actually performing like, it's literally mind blowing. One of the captivating magic that I actually saw is he actually just uh, used the daggers or the knife, and he just pushed the knife in his own hand, and it literally actually pierced his hand, and there were blood as well. And after some time, just he actually used one of the handkerchief, and then his hand is automatically recovered. So that's literally mind blowing, and I was really astonishing, because these knife, and they also actually showed me that knife, and they also told me that please check this knife or daggers, is it real or not. Okay, so when we actually took this, we actually saw that this is real knife, but how has it been possible that he actually just hires this knife in his own hand, and after some time, and his hand automatically recover. and literally it literally shocked me a lot. Okay, so yes, I actually enjoyed so much, and in fact I am actually thinking of joining this kind of magic uh, in the future, or down the roads, if I am actually getting any chance. Thank you. All right, now let's move on our next topic. Okay, describe an environmental problem. Okay, you should say what it is. Okay, and why is it happening, and what problem it causes, and what do you think will happen in the future regarding this event. Okay. There are loads of environment problems in our country, and especially if I'd like to actually say one of the most, and one of the burning question of the problems is climate change. Okay, and we all are the sufferer of this very problem, and for that reason, what is actually happening, just let me tell you a bit, and I hope that you will also be able to actually understand what does it actually mean, and why is it so much important to think about it. All right, so because of this climate change, our globe is warming day by day, number one. And we had a layer which is like ozone layer, and it is already vanishing, number one, and resulting into the heat which is actually coming from the sun. And this kind of ray has UV, okay, that means ultraviolet, okay, ray, and which actually directly causes us to, which actually leads us to suffer in the cancer, number one. And number two, when these kind of rays is actually coming to our globes, so to our globes, and one thing actually happening is there are lots of gas as well, and they have special characteristics, that is they can actually store, they can actually retain the heat. Okay, so retain the heat, and as a result, whenever the ray is actually coming to our globes, and they actually retain this kind of intense heat of the sun, and for that reason we are actually feeling so much warm, right? And if we actually notice that over the last few years data, and if you compare this data with the previous one, you must find that there are a huge difference in terms of actually weather, especially the heat, the temperature is actually going to be higher and higher day by day, right? So it is only because of this climate change resulting into, so that means we have Mount Everest as well, right? So the temperature is actually rising at the same time. For that reason, the Mount Everest is actually melting or oozing, right? So what is actually happening is, for that reason, our the sea level is actually rising, resulting into there are many houses, and which is actually beside that kind of that kind of water sources, these are going to be destroyed, right? So for that reason, there are many families who are actually losing their own land. Okay, and it is number one. And not only that, whenever these water is actually flowing towards the field, and as we know that there are lots of salt in the water of the sea, right? And for the reason, when this kind of salty water comes in the field, and it actually ruined the capability, the fertility of the soil. And for that reason, the crops actually does not grow properly, and resulting into you also suffer from the food food crisis, right? That means food problem as well. So these are the few things, and there are loads of things, and for that reason, and not only that, we are also doing another thing, that is we are constantly using the electricity, right? So for generating electricity, we are to burn coal and gas and everything, right? And which is actually natural resources, and we all know that our population is actually rising. For that reason, for that reason uh, for the reason this kind of natural resources is going to be ended up very very soon. So this is the high time to actually think the alternative. For that reason, there are many developed countries who actually took the initiatives of thinking the renewable energy. Okay, so yes, these are the few steps that we are actually taking. However, however, and we need to be very very conscious enough regarding actually using all of those things. And I hope that yes, by doing all of the things in a limited way, I hope yes, this problem can be a bit mitigated. Not everything, but we can actually mitigate a bit. That's for sure. So that's it for the time being. Thank you. All right, now let's move on our next topic, which is like describe a type of exercise that you like to do. You should what exercise is, why do you do it, why do you do it, why you like this particular exercise. Okay. Although I am actually so much, that means I am actually so big fan of the gym, and in fact I am not actually getting the time, or because of not having the proper time, simultaneously the finance, I actually couldn't go anywhere like gym center or something like that. So what can I actually do is, so yes, since I have the intention to actually do this, so for that reason I actually watched many of the videos from the YouTube. So among them I actually found two exercises, and since I am actually having to say only one which I really like, that is push-ups. Okay, so these push-ups, because it actually strengthens my arm, my chest, and overall power. Okay, so when I actually get chance, no matter, and if I actually feel uh, a bit strength in my body, or if I am actually in jolly, or if I'm actually thinking of doing something, I need to actually build something, or I need to actually strengthen my capacity. On that moment I actually do that, and there is no specific time for that. And I usually do this in my room, because I am a bit shy person, because I don't want to actually show these things to the people, because they might actually judge, they might actually laugh, they might actually say lots of things. For that reason, this is the only place that I really like, because there is no one to actually judge me. Okay, so yes, that's for that is why I actually love to do these push-ups in my room. Not every day, but I actually try, but I couldn't. And yes, whenever I am actually feeling a bit fit and starts, okay, something like that, in an irregular way, I actually do that. Okay, and I like that, already told you the reason of strengthening my mood and everything. For that reason I actually chose that. Thank you. All right, now let's move on our next topic. Describe an exciting experience you have had. You should say when it was, where you were, and what it was, but what made this experience especially exciting. Alright. Okay, so during my university life, we were to actually present some viva, some presentation. So yes, and I was not actually so much prepared for that. Number one, and in fact, I was so nervous in terms of actually speaking, and but I was confident enough. So all of a sudden, my teacher actually said me that today you will have to actually give presentation on that specific topic, and you have that much time to actually prepare, and then actually you will have to present. Okay, so it was literally shocking because I was not actually prepared for that, number one. And since it was like impromptu, I was not actually prepared enough from the very beginning or something like that. So yes, that's why it actually a bit challenging for me. And when it actually came to my turn, okay, so I actually started my speaking. Literally, I noticed that the person who actually delivered their speech before me, and the teacher was actually like snoozing, okay. And because the teacher was not actually getting that much energy from their voices, okay. So when I actually started, I literally just grabbed the whole attention to the class, to me, okay. And my teacher also became a bit motivated, and he literally forgot to actually snoozing, okay. He literally stared at me and just listened to me. And in fact, he actually said that you have a good pronunciation, and at the same time you have a good communication skills as well. So that literally meant a lot for me, because I was the only student who actually goes to the university from the very remote area. And in fact, for that reason, this was the first time when I actually just delivered my speech. For that reason, I actually got so many proposal of my friends, okay. And okay, let me actually be clear here. So I actually studied IIUC, and we have the separate section, and we actually didn't have the female with us, okay. So you might actually get a bit wrong. For that reason, I actually clarified that. So yes, and I realized that yes, since this presentation was the very initial of my university life, and they actually, because when I actually got to my university, so as we all know that people actually do not love to actually talk with each other initially, right? So with the flow of time, it actually we actually talk to each other, and we actually become familiar with each other. But this actually helped me a lot, okay. So actually to make friends very very easily, and they were actually providing me the priority, okay. And in fact, they also at times said that they are very much interested to practice English with me as well. So yes, this is the only thing that really motivating and inspiring for me, because I never ever actually thought before, because I was absolutely from Bangla medium background, number one. And not only that, I actually learned all the things as I am actually speaking for today is all about my self practice. I didn't go anywhere for learning English. And not only that, I actually didn't use any of the application nowadays people are actually using in terms of actually practicing. I never ever do that. It may be on online or offline. Both ways, I was totally stay away from that very practicing. I always did my self practice, okay. That's what I actually did. And I actually learned lots of things. I actually I went through many books as well. So yes, this is the only skills, and this is the only way to actually improve your speaking, whatever you are actually thinking of, okay. And there is no alternative to practicing. If you like to actually develop your speaking, you must speak, okay. I repeat, you must speak. You have to speak, okay. Otherwise it is not possible. Trust me, it's not possible. Why? Let me actually put another example here. Is when I actually started my speaking, yes, actually realize that yes, I am being able to actually understand what people are actually saying. But when it comes to my turn, my speaking, I'm not being able to actually speak. The same thing goes for the Indian, that means Hindi. Okay, so yes, I can actually understand some of the Hindi, but I can't actually utter a single word of Hindi. Why? Because I just always just listen, something like that, right? And but I never actually tried that. Okay, for that reason, my muscle is not actually trained with that. Number one, and because of not actually uttering these kind of things, I am not actually sure what and how to actually pronounce all of those things. Okay, so yes, this is the only way to actually develop your skills. That is speaking. You need to actually speak. Okay. All right. So I am actually still making this kind of videos alone. Okay, because it is and this is the ultimate way of practicing. Okay. All right. And let me actually make sure another thing as well. Please avoid or circumvent the translating method because it will make you slower. Okay, and no matter how faster you are in, you will ultimately be slower. Okay, and for that reason, I always encourage and I always prefer you to actually go for the speaking. Okay, continuous speaking. Okay, you can just take some of the questions and random answer of that very questions as I am actually doing now. Okay, all right. So actually, I already told many of the irrelevant things. However, this was a bit relative with that very question for that reason. Anyway, so yeah, now let's move on our next topic, which is related to talk about the last time your whole family got together. You should mention where you met, what you did together, how long you spent together, and say if you like to do the same thing again soon or not, and why. Okay. All right, because of the job purpose, and most of my family members are not actually connected to each other. But when it comes to our festival, and we have in fact two biggest festivals, one is Eid ul Fitr and another is Eid ul Adha, right? So on that very special festivals, and we actually got together, and last year we actually did, and we are actually hoping that if everything goes well, we will also get together in this very year as well. So yes, and when I was in Dhaka, so yes, I was stay away from my family, and when it comes to my festival, so I thought yes, I need to actually go, and not only that, and my family members are also actually expecting that I should join, and yes, I actually joined over there on that very festival moment, and we actually gather in our home. Not only that, on that very moment there are many relatives as well, so they also join with us, and we actually have something, and like we do dinner, we do lunch together. Okay, and we enjoy the whole day in a very happy way, so that we actually just always try to remember that yes, this is the only day which we are expecting to celebrate every single day. Okay, so this is the very day where we actually enjoy, and we literally shared our opinions, our moments and everything. Okay, so yes, and we actually play, we actually eat. Okay, and we just hang out. Okay, and at times if we actually get time we go outside as well together. Okay, so and it actually happened twice in a year, because these twice moment is literally unforgettable for everyone, because we always actually look for that. And yes, one of my sisters actually live in abroad, and in fact she also love to actually come. At times she can and at times she can't, but she actually tries to join with us as well. And another thing that I would like to actually say is when we actually get together, the relationship, the bonding that we actually have, uh, it's literally unparalleled. Okay, and it actually proves that yes, there is a tree and there is a road, and the whole road is our family, and these trees has many branches. That means we are actually doing many things for our job, right? So no matter what types of business or job we are actually doing, at the end of the day what actually matters is we actually combine, we actually join together with the family. That is the most that is the most or that is the ultimate satisfaction we actually have. And in fact we actually proud for that, because we have that kind of moment, and we are actually thinking of doing this kind of things more and more. Not only these festivals, okay, in these festivals we will actually gather, and otherwise we will not know. It doesn't like that. Okay, so as I told here that one of my sisters actually live in abroad. So yes, when she actually comes in the country, we also try to actually hang out together like this, as we actually do in the two festivals. So that's what about it for the time being. Thank you. All right, now let's move on our next topic, which is describe a family member that you get on well with. You should mention what their personality is like, okay, and what things they like doing, and they have any strong dislikes, and say why you think you have a good relationship. Okay. Okay, in my family members, I almost actually hang out most of the times with my sisters. So among them, if I would like to actually say, one of the persons that I really got on well with. So this is my youngest sister. And why? Because the mindset, the thinking capacity, the way I actually think, the philosophy that I actually believe, and we have the same thing and same mindset as well. For that reason, I actually really go, that means get on well with her. Okay, and her personality is something like me, and that means we actually do not like the people who are like who actually likes to share the bravado, or those who are so much prideful or something like that. Yes, we always try to actually ignore that kind of thing, number one. And there are a couple of things that we actually love. So yes, the same, that means we are on the same boat or same page in terms of actually choosing, and in terms of actually just leading our life as well. And in fact I actually do not like the oily items, and so does she. Okay, and she also loves to cook the food which is not too much spicy or too much salty, too much sugary, and something like that. Yes, these are the things, and the same thing actually I like as well. So for that reason, yes, because of actually matching the choice, yes, for that reason I really get on well with her. And she is actually good, and in fact she at times fall out and make up as well. Okay, so that's what actually we do. It's like sibling rivalry, right? We all know those who have the brothers and sisters in their own family, and I'm sure that uh, you also encountered that very thing as well in your family, right? However, however, so uh, that means that ideology that I actually follow, the same ideology actually is followed by my sister as well. So for that reason, I most of the time actually share my incidents, share my opinions, share my feelings and everything. Okay, and yes, with her, and she also actually shares everything, okay, without thinking so much. And I reckon that yes, that should be like, we will have to be like friendly, because at the end of the day what actually matters is, if we do not actually get anyone from our family members who is not actually listening to us, there is a high chance that we can actually look for that very love towards the outside, right? So for that reason we actually see there are lots of relationships actually occurred with the voices and girls and BF, GF, something like that. Okay, so I reckon that yes, those who actually do not find any kind of support, any kind of love from their family, and they are actually and they are the only people who actually look for love, look for care towards another person. Okay, and for that reason we actually see that kind of illegal relationship, okay, which is not supposed to be before the marriage, right? So yes, I reckon that this is the only reason of actually having that kind of things. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Okay, so should I actually continue more? So no, I need to actually stop here for the time being, but I love to actually practice, okay, and in fact, I enjoy this as well. Anyway, so this is it for today, and I am actually winding up my videos now, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye. Assalamu alaikum.